Tell me now in time and space the outcome of this human race in 1,000 years from hence. From this dark age, show me hence a single individual, and let me learn of what will thrill times to come, as times will be the 20th of centuries. Oh, Calvin Coolidge. Tell me. Calvin Coolidge was the 30th president of the United States. He was the 6th vice president to become chief executive at the death of a president. Coolidge was elected vice president in 1920 and became president in 1923 when Warren G. Harding died. He was elected to another term in 1924. Coolidge was popular as president. The American people felt something in common with this New England Yankee. They respected his shyness and silence, and admired his dry wit and keen common sense. Most persons agreed that Coolidge spoke only when he had something to say, and then said it briefly and to the point. Prosperity reached a high point during the Coolidge administration. The national income was increasing, and wages were high. Many Americans felt that the personality and opinions of Coolidge had something to do with their state of well-being. They liked his policies on reducing taxes and cutting down government expenses. The farmers did not share in the prosperity of the nation, but Coolidge disapproved of proposed legislation to give them government relief. He believed that a cooperative farm marketing plan would be sounder. Soon after Coolidge left the White House, prosperity ended in the stock market crash of 1929. Critics were quick to point out to Coolidge much of the blame for business practices that led to the Depression, but few would deny that he reflected the mood and wishes of the American people of his time. Early life. Calvin Coolidge was born on July 4, 1872 at Plymouth Notch, a small village in the central part of Vermont. His father, John Coolidge, was descended from a family which came to America from England about 1630. His father's first wife, the mother of Calvin Coolidge, was Victoria Josephine Moore before her marriage. She died when Calvin Coolidge was only 12 years old. The boy was given his father's name, John Calvin, but he later dropped the name John because he preferred to use only the single name Calvin. The boyhood of Calvin Coolidge was that of a New England farm boy of the late 1800s. He worked in the fields and learned about business in his father's store. Simplicity, honesty, frugality, and common sense were characteristics of Vermont people, and these qualities entered strongly into his outlook on life. He believed that a nation, as well as a man, should live in such a way that it spent less than its income. Education. Coolidge attended the district school at Plymouth until 1886, when he was sent to the Black River Academy at Ludlow, a town 12 miles from his home. He completed his preparation for college at St. Johnsbury Academy and entered Amherst College in the fall of 1891. Coolidge formed friendships at college which were to prove important to him in later life. During his senior year, he wrote an essay on the subject, The Principles Fought for in the American Revolution, which later won a gold medal in a contest sponsored by the Sons of the American Revolution. Coolidge was graduated from Amherst in 1895 with a degree of Bachelor of Arts cum laude with honor. Law practice. Immediately after graduation, Coolidge began to study law with the firm of Hammond and Field in Northampton, Massachusetts. 2 years later, in 1897, he passed the state bar examination and was admitted to practice. He remained with Hammond and Field for several months and then opened an office of his own in Northampton. He maintained his law office in Northampton until 1919. Political career. Early years. Coolidge was interested in politics from the beginning of his career. He was elected to the City Council of Northampton in 1898. This office carried no salary, but a year later, Coolidge became city solicitor. He was beginning to be known in the Republican Party as a loyal worker. By 1904, he was managing political campaigns in Hampshire County, and in 1906, he was elected to the State House of Representatives. He became more widely known after he was elected mayor of Northampton in 1910 and re-elected the following year. Political career in Massachusetts. Coolidge was elected to the state senate in 1911. He served as state senator for 4 years and became known to the leadership of his party for his common sense and party loyalty. Many powerful men became interested in helping him get ahead. Coolidge was president of the state senate in 1914 and 1915. His next step forward was his election as lieutenant governor of Massachusetts in 1915. Well, that's when that house next door was built, 1915. He served in this office until 1918 when he was elected governor. As governor, Coolidge undertook to give the state an honest and practical administration. He urged that taxes and government expenses be cut down. It was the Boston police strike of 1919, however, which made him known all over the nation. This strike took place when Boston policemen tried to form a union with the American Federation of Labor. The police commissioner insisted they had no right to join such a union and to discharge 19 of the union leaders. The policemen went on strike to have their leaders put back on their jobs. The citizens of Boston were greatly alarmed at the threat of disorder. Governor Coolidge at first refused to act, but after the mayor, a Democrat, had called out the Boston units of the militia and begun to suppress disorder, Coolidge called out the entire state guard. The mayor was temporarily displaced, and all the peace forces of Boston were directed by state authority. Well, you get the idea of what it is. And this is his home, Plymouth, Vermont, his birthplace. His father had a general store and a post office. Life, 1,000 years after the Dark Ages.